Good evening, everybody. It's Charlie, and welcome back to another live stream on the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. Hope everyone has had a great day so far. As always, before we get into tonight's stream in more detail, make sure that you are smashing a like on it. It really does help get it out there to more people. Please subscribe if you are brand new to the channel as well. We're on the road to 3,000 subscribers. If you could do me a solid and hit that subscribe button, that'd be amazing. If you could also hit the notification bell as well, so that you're always aware of when I'm uploading and going live. And of course, get all of your thoughts and opinions into the comment section down below and in the live chat, and I'll be sure to flash it up on screen. It's time for the last say. Just before we get into it, a word about our sponsor, Josh Firth. Any football graphic design needs that you may need, guys, his links to his Etsy store and his Instagram page are in the description down below. A very talented guy, and if you ever need anything doing like that, he is the best man for the job. So as I was saying, we're here for the live edition of The Last Say, where we're going to be discussing in more detail last night's 1-0 victory under the lights at Ellen Road against Stoke City. A very hard-fought win. The lads really had to dig deep for that one in the end. It wasn't the greatest of performances by any stretch of the imagination, but we will, of course, be getting into it in more detail. As I say, guys, like, comment and subscribe, and we'll get into the first bit of action then. So let's speak about the lineup. The lineup I thought was a bit of a surprise. I wasn't expecting Archie Gray to be dropped to the bench. I can only assume that was just, given the fact that he's 17, he's played a lot of minutes, there's a lot of games coming up quick and fast, and he's just thought, you know what, I'll rest him for this one. But still, I thought if anyone was going to get dropped, it would be Glenn Kamara. I assumed that Connor Roberts would start at right back like he did. And I assumed Gray would come into midfield with Glenn Kamara dropping to the bench. I feel like Gray does need to be starting in midfield now. It gives Daniel Farker an extra headache to have in terms of team selection, which can only be a good thing, in my opinion. It shows that we've got some good depth in midfield. And I thought Gray was good when he come on last night as well for the last 15 minutes. Obviously, as I've already mentioned, we saw Connor Roberts come in to make his first start for the club. And Sam Byram came in to replace Junior Firpo, who wasn't 100% fit to start the game, but was on the bench. Obviously, Jayden Anthony was out of the matchday squad due to his mother's funeral. And I believe, obviously Farker was saying earlier on that he'll be out for the Sheff Wednesday game as well. I'm assuming they've just given him some time off, just to process everything going on in his personal life. And, I wish him all the best with that. But yeah, other than that, guys, it was an unchanged lineup. Obviously, Bamford leading the line, Rutter, Somerville, Dan James, of course, came back in for Willie Gnonto, Gruev Kamara, and then it was obviously Roberts, Ampadu, Rodon, and Byram. Now, on my Twitter timeline yesterday in the build-up to the game, there was a lot of fans nervous about this one. And I was reading it at the time, and I was quite baffled and confused as to why fans were so nervous for it. Now, don't get me wrong, every game I'm a little bit nervous for now, given that it's, the business end of the season. It's a results business now. It's always a results business, but even more so now. But boy, after watching that game, do I know why fans were so nervous about it. Stoke City are in the bottom three. I don't understand how they are, because, and I'm not just saying this, in terms of performance, other than Leicester, I actually think Stoke City performed better than what Ipswich did at Ellen Road. We battered Ipswich 4-0. It was easy. But last night was a really hard slog. I thought Norwich played okay as well that night at Ellen Road when we beat them 1-0. But Stoke last night were playing football in a way that is not being played by any of the other teams in that relegation scrap. And I was quite taken aback, really, as to how good they were. They, especially in that second half, they were moving the ball around very well, causing Leeds United some problems. But in real essence, they didn't actually have that many efforts on goal. I think they had two notable efforts on goal that I can remember. I think Meslier made a good save to knock it out for a corner at one point, and then there was the one which was literally the last kick of the game, which I feel like if he gets some air in that shot and hits it a bit harder, I think we're looking at a totally different result there. But it goes low and not that hard, and Meslier is able to deal with it. But other than that, they didn't create that many chances, but I thought just how they were moving the ball around. They didn't come to Ellen Road just to sit back and hit us on the counter. They came to play football. They were time wasting a little bit at points, but nowhere near as bad as some other teams that we've seen down at Ellen Road in that regard. But yeah, I was really impressed with Stoke City, but not as impressed with Leeds United on the night. However, obviously, the result is, of course, the most important thing. We've got some comments in the chat. Lee saying, not the most entertaining match, but love the 3 points. Yeah, exactly. And like I've already said, Lee, mate, it's business end of the season now. No one's going to be looking back at this and thinking, oh, yeah, but played poor that night. They're going to be looking and thinking that was 3 points, potentially on the road to promotion, hopefully. Jordan, evening, mate. How we doing? I think we are running out of legs. Kamara, etc. Didn't have a pre. Yeah, there is that. I just think it may just be just a poor run of form for Glenn Kamara. And look, if you're a avid watcher of this channel, you'll know that I am a massive Glenn Kamara fan. I think he's been one of our most underrated signings this season. I think he's very good on the ball, silky smooth operator, press resistant. But I'll admit, the last few games, he has been off it. He has. His passing's not been there. Still press resistant, in fairness, but the decision making, the passing, giving the ball away, just hasn't quite been at the races. The Huddersfield game and last night. And yeah, like you say, it could be a fitness thing, but I don't think so. I think it's literally just a poor run of games for him, which is why I'm advocating that Archie Gray gets a start in midfield as well. There'll be a video out on the channel in the morning where we'll be discussing Archie Gray and Matteo Joseph in a little bit more detail. So make sure that you tune in to that tomorrow morning. But yeah, Archie Gray has to be played in midfield now for me. And like I said, I was quite surprised to see him dropped from the starting 11, but it is what it is. Let's get into the first half from a Leeds perspective. Then I thought Leeds were the better team in that first half. It was a scrappy first half, and there wasn't a lot to go off. But I thought in terms of how we moved the ball about, the possession that we had over them, we did create more chances than them as well. Obviously, they turned us round in the first half and made us attack the cop end. And, obviously, which meant Stoke attacked my end at the south stand, and I don't remember any efforts on goal, really, apart from that one from Lewis Baker that he shot from about 30 yards out, which Meslier tipped over the bar. Other than that, they didn't really create anything. It was all Leeds United. I think Dan James could have easily had a hat trick. Obviously, he gets his goal on the 33rd minute. Should have had a penalty in the opening 10 minutes as well. In the ground, I thought it was a bit 50-50 and you couldn't really tell. But having watched it back a few times throughout today, that was a Stonewall penalty. And again, it's just an example of how bad the officiating is at this level. But yeah, like I said, Dan James gets his goal just after the half-hour mark. A good finish. Obviously, it did take a slight nick on the way in, but it has gone down as a Dan James goal. But yeah, look, I really wanted Leeds to go for the jugular after that first goal. I feel like if we'd have got a second at any point in that game, then we could have seen a totally different second half. But I just feel like second half, guys, we came out and we looked a completely different outfit for the first sort of 20, 25 minutes of that half. I can't lie. Stoke were moving the ball around well. They were getting in behind. Yes, not a lot of clear-cut chances, but I just thought they kept the ball better than us. They looked like they were more up for it than us in that second half. And if I'm a Stoke City fan, I'm watching that and I feel quite gutted that you've not come away with a point there. I have to be honest. I feel like if, and I was saying this to my uncle on the way back to the car last night, I feel like if Stoke had have equalised in that first half, we couldn't have grumbled at it because they deserved something from that game last night. I have to be honest, they did, but obviously I'm glad that they didn't, and I'm glad that Leeds United got the win and got back to winning ways. But yeah, they did deserve something, and if they keep playing like that from now till the end of the season, then I think they will stay in the Championship. Although they are having a tough time of it in terms of results, but if they can play like that against teams in and around them, I think they'll be absolutely fine. But yeah, Mike saying a lot of games too close together doesn't help. No, it doesn't. I think the Chelsea team should start against Sheffield Wednesday. Yeah, potentially. I don't think it will be though. There's definitely two changes that I would make to last night's team. Well, three actually. I'd bring Firpo in for Sam Byram. I thought Byram was a little bit off last night as well. I would drop Glenn Kamara and put Archie Gray in midfield. And this could shock you, but I would drop Patrick Bamford and put Mateo Joseph up top. Bamford didn't have a bad game last night. I thought it was all right, actually. But he did look a bit leggy. And I thought when Mateo Joseph and Joel Perot came on last night, don't think Perot should start, but you got to give credit where it's due. When Joseph and Joel Perot came on last night, that was the game changer in the second half of Leeds. Leeds started playing better. Perot was getting his foot on the ball. I feel like Rutter was losing it a little bit in the first half and the first period of that second half, but I feel like Perot calmed things down. Some good balls up the pitch. And Mateo Joseph was doing what Bamford does. He was occupying the centre-backs. He was stretching the play. He's quicker than Bamford. Almost scored when he rounded the keeper. Obviously, the two goals that he got against Chelsea as well, he's confident at the minute. I've seen a lot of people say that he should be starting, and I agree. I would give him a start on Friday night. Do I think Farker will do that? No. And you'll find out my predicted 11 for the Sheffield Wednesday game tomorrow night. So there'll be two videos out on the channel for you to get your teeth stuck into tomorrow, guys. So make sure that you do tune in for those. But yeah, look, I feel like when the subs were made, it totally changed in our favour. Because there was a load of subpar performances last night. I thought Rutter wasn't great, although he did have the odd moment, but overall he wasn't great. Somerville, I think, has been poor for a few games now, holding on to the ball way too long, trying to do it all himself, which, we know how great of a season he's had, but I feel like he needs to include others more in the play. I think he's trying too much and, holding on to the ball way too long. I thought Dan James was good. Very good, actually. His work rate's unbelievable. The defensive work that he puts in, he scored his goal, was a nuisance on that right-hand side. So, yeah, thought he was good. Gruever thought was good, actually. Some good long-range passing. Thought the back four were okay. Thought Connor Roberts was good. Ampadu and Rodon were good as ever. Byron was the weak link for me. There was a few times where he was heading the ball out to clear it, and it was like going the other way. It was like his head was just on weird last night. And look, he hasn't played a lot of football recently, so maybe he's just getting back up to speed. But I didn't feel like it was great. I would, if Firpo's okay for Friday, I would be putting Firpo back in. And I thought Ilhan Melier was the man of the match, guys. I thought he kept us in the game. Some good saves. He was catching the ball. He was commanding his area from set pieces. The distribution was a lot better. And obviously, I saw that he did get man of the match on the official Leeds United Twitter account, and I completely agree with everyone that voted for him. I thought it was really, really good last night. A much improved performance from Ilhan Melier. I feel like progressively he has been getting better over the last few weeks. Guys, before I go any further, there's 16 of you in the building. If you wouldn't mind smashing a like on the video, it really does help get it out there to more people. Please subscribe to the channel if you are brand new as well. Hit that notification bell and get your comments in, and make sure you're checking out Josh Firth's links in the description as well. Jordan saying, I've been saying Ipswich will fall off since Christmas. Yeah, we'll get onto them in just a second. Joseph has tremendous potential. Yep, 100%. What he's saying, Sheffield Wednesday Friday is going to be the hardest game of the season with tired legs and minds. Yep, you could be onto something there, 100%. Could Cooper start on Friday? Ampadu Gray midfield? No, I would rather Ampadu be at centre back at the minute until Pascal's back. I think Gruev and Gray would be good. I think Gruev's perfectly adequate, capable in midfield. Has been immense since the turn of the year, and I think actually Gray, with it being his natural position, I feel like he'd be much better there. Ziggy Jones is saying fresh legs. Important for Friday, Wednesday. Joseph for Bam, Willie for Jimmy, Archie for Glenn, and keeps the R33 at right back. Interesting that you'd take Somerville out for Nonto. I know I've said Somerville's been poor recently, but I would have him in. Still, he's been our best player overall this season, in my opinion. So I don't agree with that, but I can understand where you're coming from. But yeah, let's just speak about the Tractor Boys. Ipswich. When I left the ground last night, Bristol City were beating them 2-1. And by the time I got to my van, it was 3-2 to Ipswich. Now, I've seen people say on Twitter that Ipswich are lucky. Now, I understand where you're coming from. I do. Because I've said it as well. But when you think about it, they're not lucky, really. They've just got immense mentality. And you've got to respect it, really. And someone made a great point on Twitter today. I can't remember who it was. But I feel like Ipswich have not got as much pressure on them as what us, Leicester, and Southampton have. So when everyone's talking about Leicester winning the league and Leeds going up and Southampton going up, yeah, people are talking about Ipswich, but out of the 4 teams, if you're neutral, Ipswich are probably the ones that you would expect to fall off or to have fallen off by now. They did have a little rough patch over Christmas, like we did. But, I think they've won 6 games in a row now. Ipswich could be losing 3-0 with 10 minutes to go, and I'd still expect them to make it 4-3. I don't know if it's the manager. I don't know if it's the players, the fans down at Portman Road. I don't know what it is. But at the minute, that train is not stopping, is it? The Ipswich train, it's not. But I know it's difficult not to, but we just need to focus on ourselves. It's that, we can't, I'll be honest, because I was guilty of it. Last night, when I saw that result, I wasn't as happy about Leeds winning. And that sounds daft. But then I realised, look, we just need to focus on us and be happy with what we're doing. 10 league games since the turn of the year. 9 wins and a draw. Oh, no, sorry. 11 games, sorry. 10 wins and a draw. Not bad going, really, is it? Is it, 31 points out of 33? It's not bad going at all, really, is it? So it's not as bad as what some fans seem to make out. Yeah, it's frustrating that Ipswich keep doing what they're doing, but I do have faith that they will fall off. Something's going to happen with them. I'm sure they've got Southampton next weekend. I'm sure it's next weekend. Let me double check actually, because that's going to bug me. I'm sure it's next weekend. Oh no, sorry, no, it's not. Because Southampton were due to have Leicester. Who have Ipswich got next weekend? Oh, they've got Sheff Wednesday next Saturday at home, but they've got Cardiff away on Saturday. So you just never know, do you? You never know. You never know with Ipswich, but yeah, that's it, Paul. Easter Monday, innit? Yeah, Easter Monday when we've got Hull. I knew I'd seen it somewhere today. We've got Hull at 8 o'clock. They've got Southampton at 5:30. That could be a very interesting day, couldn't it? Ipswich giving off Terminator 2 vibes, yeah. Hey up, mate, how's it going? Why do we think we lost control in that second half? Surely not fatigue. I don't know if it was fatigue. I don't know if it was complacency. I don't know if it was just the fact that Stoke turned it up a notch. I don't know, mate, but it was weird, the contrast in halves. I thought first half we were very good, but there was a definite drop-off in the second. Jordan saying they played Southampton and Norwich back-to-back, yeah. Ipswich must be equally frustrated at. Yeah, they must be, yeah. They must be. Ipswich play Southampton and Norwich back-to-back over Easter. There you go. I feel like that Easter weekend is going to be massive. We've got Watford away on the Friday night, 8 o'clock on Sky. And then on the Monday night, we've got Hull at home under the lights. Ipswich Southampton, Ipswich Norwich. That could be the weekend, guys, when we see an Ipswich drop-off. Easter could be the deciding factor, yeah. Like that year with us and Sheffield United, the infamous 10-man Wigan. Oh, God, don't give me flashbacks of that. That was awful. That was an awful watch. But yeah, guys, look, we just need to focus on what we're doing. At the end of the day, our fate is in our own hands. And if it ends up being playoffs, so be it. We deal with it and we get on with it. Yeah, it'll be disappointing. But I would fancy us in the playoffs if it came to it, 100%. But it's definitely not over yet. 10 games left. Honestly, guys, it is 100% not over yet. There's plenty of football yet to be played. Plenty more teams will drop points. And I could see it easily going down to the wire against Southampton. And obviously, Southampton's game tonight has been postponed with Preston due to that fire that happened near the St Mary's Stadium. I hope everyone, in and around the area is okay and that. But I can't lie, it is a boost for Leeds United, that, because now that's Preston and Leicester games for Southampton that have to be postponed. And there is a rumour going around that one of those games could be played a few days before we play them on the final day, which means Leeds will have a full week's rest. And they won't have. So yeah, hopefully it gets moved to that week, and it can help Leeds United out. Would love it if us and Ipswich went up expensive Leicester. Yeah, that would be funny. When Ipswich come across a strong defence, they will be beat. They can't keep a clean sheet. No, they can't. You'd think that's not sustainable, wouldn't you? It's hard to be critical of Fark about that to see him. Yeah, that is a good point. Imagine if we did do it at Wembley. Hope it's top. Yeah, I know. I hope it's top 2, but that would be someday, wouldn't it? Yeah, so 3rd play 6th in the playoffs, yeah, and 4th play 5th. So yeah, that's how it works with the playoffs, Ted. Yeah. So yeah, we'll leave it there for tonight then, guys. And just before I go, obviously there was a young man in the South Stand last night that it was very nice of him. Came up and asked me for a photo in the South Stand. It's the first time anything like that has happened to me. So if you are watching, mate, I'm sorry that I didn't catch your name. But I hope you enjoyed the rest of the game and that you had a good night. And if you have any sort of social media or anything like that, then drop me a message and just let me know what you thought of the game. But yeah, really do appreciate your support, mate, and all your support this evening, guys. Appreciate anyone that has ever dropped in the stream this evening and put a comment in. It really does mean a lot. The engagement helps out the channel massively, like you wouldn't believe. So really do appreciate all the love and support on this evening's live stream, guys. Just before we end, make sure you are smashing a like if you haven't already on the way out. Please subscribe to the channel if you are brand new. Hit that notification bell so that you're aware of when I'm uploading and going live. And of course, get your comments in if you're watching after the live stream ends. There will be 2 videos out on the channel tomorrow, guys. In the morning, we will be discussing Archie Gray and Matteo Joseph's potential impact on the run-in for Leeds United. And then tomorrow evening will be the predicted 11 for the Sheffield Wednesday game. And then Friday morning, on the morning of the game, will be your match preview. So plenty of content for you over the next few days, guys. Make sure you keep it locked at Chatting Leeds. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.